Hello everyone. Welcome to the episode 3 of the Credit Risk Modeling Interview Preparation series, where we're going to discuss the feature engineering and variable selection. Stick till the end to get to know more about it. Have you ever wondered how to transform raw data into powerful predictors? This is where the magic begins. Let's get started. So, what is the importance of feature engineering in application scorecard development? Here, the interviewer wants to test your conceptual maturity. Can you go beyond raw variables to extract meaningful insights? They want to check if you know that the quality of input features largely determines model performance and business value. So, feature engineering helps in transforming raw variables into features that are predictive of default risk, stable across time, aligned with business intuition. For example, instead of using just income, you may create income to obligation ratio. This gives better insight into repayment capacity, increasing the model accuracy. Next question is, how do you bin continuous variables and why is it necessary before calculating WOE? Here, the interviewer wants to evaluate your technical know-how of one of the most important pre-processing steps in logistic regression scorecards. The interviewer wants to see if you understand how binning affects WOE, monotonicity, interpretability, and model discrimination. So, binning is done to reduce noise, capture nonlinear relationships, make the WOE monotonic. There can be several methods. Few of them are manual binning, using domain expertise, for example, age bands. Next is chi-square binning. It groups values into similar bad rates. Next is decision tree binning. It is automated data driven. So proper binning ensures stable WOE transformation, improving both interpretability and model performance. Next question is, what is monotonicity in scorecard features and why is it important? Here, the interviewer wants to assess your awareness of model governance and explainability. Most scorecards, especially in regulated environments, require monotonic predictors for easy explanation and robustness. This tests if you align with regulatory and practical expectations. So, a feature is monotonic if the risk, that is bad rate, consistently increases or decreases with the variable. For example, as income increases, probability of default should decrease. Monotonicity, it simplifies interpretation, ensures model stability, helps avoid overfitting. It is often enforced via WOE binning or business rules. Next question is, how do you handle highly correlated variables during the variable selection? Here, the interviewer wants to check your knowledge of multicollinearity and your ability to maintain a parsimonious model. Too many correlated features can lead to unstable models. Interviewers look for your understanding of trade offs between predictive power and model stability. So, the answer to this question is identify correlation using Pearson Spearman coefficients. Among correlated pairs, retain the one which has higher information value, better business relevance, more stable PSI score. The above conditions these prevent multicollinearity, ensuring coefficients are stable and interpretation is easier. Next question is, what kind of derived variables do you typically create in application scorecards? Here, the interviewer wants to test your creativity and business understanding. This question helps interviewer gauge whether you can design features that are not just statistically valid but also logically aligned with credit risk behavior. So, some common derived methods include debt to income ratio. number of dependents, application age bucket, employment type, bureau score category flag. These derived variables capture interaction effects, providing more discriminatory power than raw features. I hope you are enjoying the video. If this content has been valuable to you so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow. And make sure you stay tuned till the end. There's more to learn. Next question is, how do you decide the final set of features to include in the scorecard model? Here, the interviewer wants to assess your end to end feature selection strategy, including technical, statistical, and regulatory factors. Technical such as IV, VIF, statistical such as PSI correlation, and regulatory such as fairness, transparency measures, etc. They want to ensure you can deliver a compliant, high performing, explainable model. So, final selection is based on information value greater than 0.02. This can vary. WOE monotonicity, low missingness or outliers, low correlation can be checked through VIF test, predictive power on out of time sample, regulatory constraints, for example, fairness or no use of sensitive variables. Stepwise selection or regularization may also be used. Next question is, how would you treat high cardinality categorical variables such as occupation, city, etc.? So here the interviewer wants to see how well you manage complex categorical data without overfitting or making the model opaque. This is a practical check for your data simplification and encoding skills, especially in real world messy data sets. So, to treat high cardinal categorical variables, we can combine into top top n categories with others. We can use frequency encoding or target encoding. For logistic regression, group manually into binnings with similar bad rates. For tree-based ML models, leave as is if supported. High cardinality features can overfit, so they need simplification. What are interaction variables and when you should use them? Here, the interviewer wants to evaluate whether you think beyond univariate analysis and understand complex relationships. The interviewer is looking for your ability to boost predictive power using nonlinear, business driven combinations of variables. So, interaction variables capture the combined effect of two or more features. For example, income, employment type. A high income salaried applicant is less risky than a high income self employed one. They are useful when business logic suggests interaction. Univariate predictors are weak, but interaction is strong. Use with caution in logistic regression to avoid complexity. How do you validate the stability of a feature before including it? Here, the interviewer wants to test your model robustness mindset. This question ensures you understand the importance of temporal and segment wise consistency in variables, reducing the chances of model degradation post implementation. So, we need to check for the PSI, that is the Population Stability Index, less than zero point 0.1 is preferred. Trend analysis across time periods, that is development versus OOT sample checking. Bad rate stability across bins. Robustness across segments, for example, geography, product type, etc. Stable variables reduce model drift and revalidation frequency post deployment. Next question is, can we use bureau score as a feature in application scorecard? What are the pros and cons? Here, the interviewer wants to check your familiarity with industry best practices. They want to know whether you are aware of using external scores responsibly while also understanding the challenges around interpretability and data drift. So, The answer to the question that can we use bureau score as a feature in application scorecard, the answer is yes. It's a common and powerful predictor, but there are certain pros and cons. Pros are it has highly predictive power, it is readily available at application state, and it captures the external risk behavior. But there are certain cons. It may have PSI issues because bureau methodology can change. It may reduce interpretability and it not always explainable to customer. It is often used with a cap range or category rather than raw values. So this ends our episode 3 of the credit risk modeling interview preparation series. If you found this video helpful and if it has added value to your learning, please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Don't forget to like and share it with your friends. See you in the next video. Thank you.